You lie the loudest when you lie to yourself. It is a super duper day to be alive. I'm excited to start session 3 today. Remember, we lie the loudest when we lie to ourselves. This is identity through truth. Every session will be started the same way because there's always room for improvement. We want to improve. We want to get better every day in every way. Keeping our mind focused. A negative mind cannot produce a positive life. Believe me, I had that negative mind that tormented me, haunted me. And it just got in the way of me being free, of me being secure. The things that was in my head, I believed. And I acted upon them. And they changed everything. In my emotions, in my stressors, in my physical body, my spirit. So we want to keep getting better every day in every way. Keeping our mind focused. Remembering what goes in is what's going to come out. Whatever you plant is what's going to grow. The other thing we want to think about is our emotions. Our emotions do not have brains. We cannot afford to let them think for us. You don't want to be ruled by your emotions. You know, you're going to feel 10, 20, 30, 40, if you're anything like me, 60, 70 different things a day. Sometimes my emotions are haywire. And I simply say, all right, this is what I'm feeling, but I still want to use good judgment and make good choices. Because them voices lead to choices, and the choices lead to consequences. So I want to be careful, you know, even though I could be feeling something, I'm not going to deny it or ignore it. I'm just not going to be ruled by it. Number 3, we want to keep getting better every day in every way. Our physical body. Drink water, take vitamins, get exercise, get sleep, eat fruits and vegetables. I'm not telling you never to eat a Snickers, not to eat cake, not to eat ice cream. I'm just saying do these 5 things. When you feel better, you do better. Your spirit. PUSH stands for pray until something happens. A little bit of prayer, a little bit of power. No prayer, no power. A lot of prayer, a lot of power. Why would we forfeit it? Long after this body decays, our spirit will live on in eternity. And it's good to say, you know, what is going to make my spirit thrive? I don't just want to survive. I don't just want to get by. What is going to make my spirit thrive? And I know, like with all certainty, being connected to the one who created you, the one who knows you through and through, your weaknesses, your strengths, your ups, your downs, your all arounds, and still loves you, and he has a name, and it's Jesus Christ. And I know that I know that I know, because it wasn't when I was doing well that he was putting a pat on my back, affirming me, praising me, and telling me. No, it was when I was in jail, when I just felt hopeless and helpless. He came and visited me. And that's why I will not keep it to myself. And you can tell when somebody's spirit is alive. And my spirit is alive from prayer. What does prayer mean? Talking to God, honestly. It's not about right or wrong as much as it's about being honest with God. Because what's wrong, believe me, as you build this relationship, he will tell you. And it will get worked out. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful when I have been sincere about some things. And I have been honest. And I have been sincerely wrong. And it's fine. When you are open to change for the better, and you're open for a better life, you just get with the one who created you, and you accept correction. When you're through changing, you're through. And that's really the bottom line. There's always change. The only thing really consistent is inconsistencies, you know, and change. You know, I'm not who I used to be. And I'm grateful that I'm not. But I'm also grateful that I am embracing getting older, you know, because I'm lined up with the Holy Spirit. That's why our spirit is so important. Our physical body, like I said, is decaying. So again, I encourage you to pray and just talk to God. I'm telling you, he can handle anything you're going through, and he can handle it better than you. We want to keep getting better every day in every way. Keeping our mind focused, our emotions in check with wisdom, not being ruled by emotions, our physical body, drinking water, taking vitamins, our spirit, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of power, no prayer, no power. A lot of prayer, a lot of power. If you don't have faith, I encourage you to get around somebody who has faith. There's something about somebody who says, it's going to be all right. You can get through this. And if you do have faith, give your faith away. And lastly, finances. Job stands for just over broke. Sometimes we say, oh, I got this job and I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have this. You don't want money to handle you. You want to handle your money. So using your money wisely is very important. Learning how to budget, understanding, expectations, being realistic, SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. That's SMART when you're dealing with your money. You want to be specific. You want these goals to be measurable, attainable, relevant, realistic, and time sensitive. And not get, we all got bills. We know that everything is a business. But you want to learn how to manage your money and not let your money manage you. So these are the things, we are going to be, I'm going to say it every single session. We want to keep getting better and improving. There's always room for improvement. Don't stay where you are and be satisfied with that. When you can you can grow and be better, wiser, and stronger. So today's lesson is going to be talking about, is this helpful or is this harmful? Sometimes we grow up with so much lies, so much damage, so much dysfunction, insecurity, rejection, abandonment, fear. Fear stands for forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Face everything and rejoice. Face everything and recover. It also stands for false evidence appearing real. A lot of times we're afraid of something that never even happened or never is going to happen. And it's just in our head. And fear is, it could, people use it as a motivator, but I see it more as something that paralyzes us, keeps us stuck, makes us avoid some things because we're afraid to deal with it. And I definitely want to help you to combat the fears with courage, with strength, with power. I was afraid of everything. Everything you can imagine. I was afraid of success. I was afraid of love. I was afraid of the truth. I was afraid of, finding out who I was nobody anyway. I was afraid of so many things. I was always afraid of, the worst case scenario I always thought was going to happen to me. And I lived in fear, and it was paralyzing. And I remember God saying to me, do not be afraid. I am with you. And I would like to say that I was never afraid again since God said that to me. God has said that probably 1,000,000 times to me since the first time he said it and I heard it. And it is in his word that I read over and over and over again. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for I am with you. Sometimes I get so hurt that he has to keep saying it to me. But you know what? He doesn't mind. Every single day, lifting us up, encouraging us. And that's what this is. This is an every single day adventure, and every single day journey. And that doesn't mean there's not going to be trials, tribulations, grief and loss, hurt and pain. As a matter of fact, all them things are going to happen. But having somebody who strengthens you, empowers you, comforts you, while all these things happen, when they happen, not if they happen, it's so much easier. Pain shared is pain lessened. When you have somebody who's helping you with your burdens, and not just God, having a good support system is major. You know, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you should get a new circle. Because we need to be growing and learning from each other. So yeah, support system is good, you know, and having a relationship with God is amazing. And I tell you that from my own experience to, you know, like find out for yourself. And I'm going to help you do that through this series. But let's get back to the lies that we have in our head, the fears that have conquered us. This is about becoming more than a conqueror, becoming an overcomer. And I'm going to say this. If you made it this far in life already, believe me, you have overcome some stuff that you don't even realize. You're stronger than you think you are already. But sometimes we don't see that. We're making it, we got death, we got loss. We have, you know, life, we got trials, tribulations, stressors, pressures. And we're still waking up, feeding our children, going to work, or maybe not. Maybe we're stuck in a rut that we just feel like, man, I don't even know how I'm making it through each day. I'm barely making it through. And all these lies that are telling you that you can't make it through. I want to help you combat that. I want to help you challenge that type of thinking. So, again, we're going to talk about fear, sabotage, pride, abandonment, insecurity, rejection, a lot, loss, grief, mourning, all of that. So, with our thought process, we want to get to the place of saying, okay, what is in my mind that needs to be dismissed and rejected? Is this harmful or is this helpful? And get into, if you just cut if you cut something and it's not at the root, it's going to grow back. It is important for us to say, okay, what's some of the stuff that's inside me that needs to be uprooted? It needs to go. It's damaging. It's harmful. It is not helpful. Some of the things that just been hanging on us, weighing us down. We just talked a little bit about fear. Some of the fears that we have. Remember again what it stands for. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. We face it, erase it, and replace it. Some of the stuff that has downright terrified us. We were afraid to take the next move. We've been wounded by so many people we're afraid to love. Believe me, I made a silent vow to myself that I wasn't going to trust anybody. But God broke them chains off of me. Loving me, cherishing me. The other day I was at a funeral actually. And I had a woman come up to me. And she said, "You are so stunning." She was like, "You're just beautiful, inside and out." And you know what? I said to her, I actually stopped her. She's a young, beautiful woman herself. And I grabbed her by her chin. And I said, when I was a young girl, I used to model. My oldest son, he was a little boy, and he'd say, "Mom, your picture's in every window." And that never meant nothing to me. I never was full of myself. I never was secure and confident. Oh, I'm a model. I'm so beautiful. Inside, I was terrified of everything. I was insecure. I acted strong and I was weak. And just because my picture was in all the windows and I was modeling, I was freebasing cocaine. I was huffing Taiwan. I was doing pills. I was trying to escape my reality. But to the outside world, I was all dressed up on the outside and all messed up on the inside. And she said, and I'm telling her, yeah, I used to model when I was younger. I said, and I remember plenty of people told me, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. And I'm going to tell you, none of it ever, ever, ever registered. None of that. Never did I feel beautiful until I was in a place of total, I was stripped of everything. And God himself visited me in that cell. And there's a song by Casting Crowns that says, when someone dries your tears, when someone wins your heart, when someone tells you you're beautiful when you don't know you are. And that's what happened for me. The maker of me, the maker of the universe, the one who knew me all together, knew my fears, knew my insecurities, knew how much inside I was a mess and a wreck, told me I was beautiful. It was like I heard it for the first time. And not only did God tell me I was beautiful, he told me I was gloriously complete. And I tell her this. I tell her everything I'm telling you. I said, that was the day that I believed I was beautiful. When I heard it from the truth. When I heard it from the one that I never had to question. Are you still going to love me after I make another bad decision? After I make another mistake? When are you still going to love me when I do something that causes regret? Are you still going to love me? How can you still love me? And when I heard you are beautiful, it was like the first time I ever heard it and I believed it. And that's why I share this. There's something about hearing from the maker of the universe, the creator of a bird, a giraffe, a cloud, an ocean. There's something about that makes you believe it. So, you don't question it. My daughter got me a bracelet that said, what makes you so beautiful, Mom, is that you don't know you're beautiful. And I also told her that, knowing that inner beauty from your creator and saying, man, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to do hair. I can't fix nobody's car. But I know how to inspire. I know how to motivate. I know how to give good hugs. I know how to cheer people up. I know how to listen. I know how to pray for someone. Knowing who you are and who you're not. There's beauty in that. Because when you know who you are, you can't be talked out of it. I tell people, be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. But first you got to know who am I? And you got to know who you're not. So identifying all these lies in your head. Identifying that just because I'm in every window, that don't make me beautiful. Because behind the scenes, I was smoking crack. I was doing things to get more crack. So being in every window didn't make me beautiful. Today, I was able to visit someone in the hospital who hadn't had a visit. And today I was able to give somebody food who ran out of food. I don't say this for any other reason except that's more beautiful than being in every window, being on a billboard. That's more beautiful. And what happens is all these lies that I thought growing up, oh, if you have this thing on, if you're driving this car, if you're a CEO of this business, then you made it. Then you're a success. I had to get to the place of understanding. If I laid my head on my pillow today, I didn't do drugs. I didn't hurt nobody. I love God. I succeeded. I changed what success was by the truth. I wouldn't care. There's big CEO billionaires that shoot themselves in the head because they have a hopeless state of mind, but they got money. When we start changing what our attitude is about what is beautiful, about what success is, just from what society has told us, social media has told us, people have told us, teachers have told us, our parents have told us, aunts and uncles have told us, the neighbor told us. We've been told so many things. And to find out, wow, wait a minute. All my teachers, are they wrong? They could be. And that's what you got to say. Wait a minute. Is this harmful or is this helpful? Has this made my life better or has this made my life worse? And a lot of stuff that we're carrying around, a lot of the lies that we believed, what made us beautiful, what made us successful, it becomes a big competition. But I'll tell you what happens when you learn to find out who are you, what are you passionate about, what are your talents, what are your abilities, and what you're not, and what aren't your talents, what are your abilities. And then you say, you know what I'm going to do every day? I'm going to break my own record. I'm not competing with anybody else. I don't go looking to see what everybody else is doing today. No, I break my own record. I say, you know what? Yesterday, my thing is being a godly woman, serving God every day, making myself available for God every day, helping other people, taking care of my kids. That's my passion. Motivating, encouraging, inspiring, making people's life better. That's what I do. Now, let's just say yesterday I missed opportunities or deliberately didn't do things. What would be my attitude today? I'm going to break my own record from yesterday. If I did several things yesterday that I kind of wasn't too pleased with myself or God wasn't pleased with it, the first goal is I'm not going to do them today. But if I did less today than I did yesterday, that's a win. Beat your own record every day. Don't compete with other people. Say, what is it, what do I bring to the table? Some people, when I say, well, what do you bring to the table? They sit there speechless, as if they are a person with a pulse. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. You are a person with a pulse and you're wondering, what do I bring to the table? I don't know what I bring to the table. I could talk to somebody for about 20 minutes and know, wow, I see what you bring to the table. A lot of time, determination, persistence, strength. These are the things that you can't see that are so valuable inside of you. And if somebody were to ask you, what do you bring to the table? And if you're thinking your resume ain't really lengthy or you really don't know what your talents or abilities are, but yet you've been holding a house down or you've been making it through life with every gut shot, ducking some of the grief that you had to deal with. You're strong. You bring strength to the table. You bring determination. You bring persistence. You bring resilience. These are the things that you want to know about yourself and combat the lies. So how do you dismiss and reject these lies? The only way to dismiss and reject lies is with the truth. So these lies start attacking your head. Just really attacking you. I don't know if what consumes you, the lies that you know what the lies are. And if you don't know, I would encourage you. Maybe you're not a praying person. Maybe you don't know Jesus or the Holy Spirit or God. I would encourage you, for you even wanting this video, something is drawing you, and I'm going to call that something God is drawing you. He's drawing you because he wants you, because he cherishes you. He don't want you to be aimless. He created you. He invented you. He designed you. And he wants you to know why. So these lies that you have in your head, how do you dismiss them? You got to know the truth. Even little things like, man, if I made it this far in life with everything I've been through, I'm strong. You start telling yourself, I am strong. I am persistent. I am persistent. I am determined. I am resilient. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. There was an elephant and there was a little tiny mouse. And they're walking across a bridge and the bridge is shaking. And they get to the other side of the bridge and the little tiny mouse looks at the elephant and says, we sure shook that bridge. You know, a lot of times we think we're getting through things and we wouldn't believe that God carried us through it, sustained us through it, strengthened us. When I think about the times when I was little and I was being molested and I was seeing World War III in my living room and just trying to hide under my covers from life. And I didn't even know that God was real or even existed. And some people would say, well, how did he exist if all that stuff was happening to you? And I'm alive to talk about it. With a spring in my step, a smile on my face, a sparkle in my eye. And I wouldn't trade none of that stuff that happened to me because it made me the woman I am today. And I can recall now as a woman, wow, I remember hiding under them covers from my life. I remember just being scared. What's the next traumatic, catastrophic thing that is going to happen in this house of horrors that I live in? And now that I think back, wow, God was with me all along. He was just there. He was protecting me. And he was giving me strength. And now I'm able to be a person who is, a survivor of so much abuse. And now I'm able to tell other people who's been abused in the same way I have or worse or not even worse and still be able to say, yes, you can make it through this. Like I said, pain shared is pain lessened. So to dismiss and reject these lies, you have to have these thoughts on standby. You have to have truth on standby. Anytime I feel defeated, I say, no, I have the victory. I have the victory in Christ. Anytime I'm feeling thoughts of sadness, not that I ignore them, I'll say, no, I am not alone. I have God with me right now. Anytime I'm feeling thoughts of despair, discouragement, I literally combat that saying, no, I'm more than a conqueror. I'm an overcomer. I can, I will, and I must get through this. I won't collapse. I'm going to conquer. And it's not just using positive words to feel better. Eventually, once you get this close-knit relationship with God, and you got the elephant going across this bridge, shaking the bridge, and you realize you're not the one doing it anymore. You don't want to do nothing but hold on to him. I don't want to be a single second without him. Because of the courage, because of the strength, because of the power, because of the love. The love that I have been shown when I thought that love was going to be absent from my life. I felt unloving. I didn't feel like I deserved to be loved. I was afraid of love. I sabotaged love. And then I said, no. God is love, an inexhaustible source of love. And he just don't mind loving on me. And that love he showed me, I just can't keep it to myself. I want everybody to feel that love. And that's the truth. to say, wow, I feel unloving. I feel unworthy. And the truth is, you are loved by God. You are cherished by God. You are wanted by God. That's a place to belong. And I'm telling you, his perfect love casts out the fears, dispels the lies. And it's so helpful. And you got to keep asking yourself, okay, these thoughts that I'm having, these emotions that are overtaking me, is this harmful or is this helpful? And if it's harming you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, if it's harming you, you got to ask yourself, do I want something that's harming me? If I sat a cup of bleach right here, if this was bleach, and I said, why don't you just down this bleach? You would look at me like I was nuts. I'm not downing that bleach. That bleach will kill me. Well, some of the thoughts that you are thinking are killing you. Some of the emotions that drive, motivate, consume your life are killing you. Some of the behaviors that you continue to do are killing you. You might not be in a grave, but you are. And when you say to yourself, man, if you want to be, we lie the loudest when we lie to ourselves. I had to determine, wait a minute, this thought ain't even true. It's dominating me. It's hurting me. It's more harmful than helpful. So what should I do? I should dismiss it. I should reject it. How do I do that? I combat it and challenge it with the truth. I said a few truthful statements during this session. You're more than a conqueror. You're an overcomer. You're resilient. You're strong. These are some of the ways that you challenge and dismiss the thoughts that are attacking you. Now, it's not going to, just because you said these things, now your life isn't all better and now you're healthy and, you can just conquer every single day. No. This happens through practice. This happens through discipline. It happens through changing habits. There's a thing, I even got one of my books that say, I have a 30-day devotional and a 31-day devotional. One of my books is called As Thy Days, So Should Thy Strength Be. You plus God in any situation can handle anything. And my other book, Inviting and Exciting, is a 30-day adventure. And in them 30 days, you challenge your habits of being thankful instead of having self-pity. I have something when I wake up every morning on my wall. It says, complaining doesn't make anything better. I will have a praise party and not a pity party. And that's the first thing I say when I wake up, besides thank you, God, for waking me up. I will have a praise party today. Does that mean I live an ideal life and everything's wonderful and I'm tiptoeing through the tulips? Absolutely not. I just decided to praise instead of feeling self-pity. I decided to agree with God that I can get through this with him. So I challenged and dismissed and rejected the things that were tormenting me, the things that were lying to me, the things that were harmful. And that's what I'm challenging you to do today. Ask yourself, what is in my thought process? What has been holding me down, holding me back that is more harmful than helpful? Identify it, and then you're going to challenge it and combat it. On the next session, I will be giving so many affirmations, scriptures, things that you can combat these lies with that are tormenting you and torturing you, haunting you, holding you down. If it is harmful, it is time for it to go. And we are going to replace what is harmful with what is helpful. And not just like some exchange to make you feel better. Some truth that is going to build you up, keep you up, and catapult you into the person that you were designed to be by the designer, by the inventor, by the creator. Do you think If you made a creation and you seen your creation every single day not doing what it was created to do, that would be so hurtful. You would just want to say, no, 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 that's not what you created to do. Come to me and I'll show you what you were created to do. And that's what God's saying. This is harming you, and I love you enough not for you to live in danger and in harm when I've provided a way for an abundant life. Last thing I'm going to say before we end this session. I was driving my son to school this morning, and he said when he was a little boy, he wasn't allowed to play in the street. And his aunt, she turned the block, and he was in the street, and she screamed at him. And she said, "Get out of the street, now you're grounded." And he had to go in. And I said to him, what's so sad about that is that she loved you and she was just trying to protect you. And you've been living, he's 17 years old, you've been living with such shame because you went in that street and you got yelled at and everything. But what she really is saying is, I can't imagine life without you, and you're in a dangerous place that you could get hit by a car and die, and I don't want you there. So I told you cannot do that because it could put you in a harmful place. And this is what I said to my son this morning. I said, I know that you lived with the shame of her yelling at you, but I want you to know what was her drive behind telling you not to go in the street. It's because it could have killed you. And she didn't want life without you. That's what God does. He gives us the truth to protect us because he loves us so much. He created us to love us and for us to love him. And he gives us specific instructions that's harmful, that'll put you in danger. And my drive behind telling you not to do this is because I love you. So may you hear them words today, that you are loved, that you are cherished. And the harmful things, I pray that you would identify them and exchange them for the truth that are not just going to be more helpful, they're going to be life-changing, and it'll be a brand spanking new life for you. So the takeaway for this is creating new habits, being disciplined, identifying. Discipline ain't going to happen from you wishing for it. You have to actually identify what lies have been harming you. Write them down, do whatever you have to do. And you're going to combat and challenge them with truth.